Temperature when I woke up is when I went to bed. It was 61 degrees at 1 o'clock, 61 degrees at 9 o'clock. That's that's funny. Uh, temperature, temperature. The fluctuation of the temperatures and the irrationality in the ecosystem is because we're doing wrong by one another. And when we're doing wrong by the one another, the ecosystem understands this and abuses us. Sacrificing your daughters is a mythological story. It's just basically saying that you're trying to have too many children because you're fighting and killing and you have to survive. Okay, those are your stories of the lady in Peru, and the reason why they saw in the mountains and the people that see from the clouds and stuff is because they knew that, the archaeological finds, that they would take the bodies of these people and they would put them in museums and value the dead body in the museum more than the living body that walks the countryside. Doesn't need to sacrifice herself up on the mountain to the sky people. Okay. The sky people were coming, and the sky people were going to they were going to fly to the sky. They were going to put up their satellites, and they were going to manipulate everybody and try to replace the power of God with their egos. And everybody here that was going to be murdered off knew it was coming. Past, present, future operate same time. Tishna, Taza, Little Hawk, Crazy Horse, Manuelito, Barboncito, Chief Seattle, Chief Joseph, Pontiac, Tecumseh, Washington. There's so many. Okay. So many names. Daondanega. Okay. So many names and so many. There's more up in Canada that, you guys, those movies I watch, I was like, all the Native Americans in movies from Canada, Eric's wife from Canada, Gary Farmer from Canada, Tanto Cardinal, you from Canada? Is she still with us or is she gone? Has the spirit made the journey to the next temple? Okay, the next temple will be in another world, and it'll be totally different from the world we lived in, like a river. Now we need to stop polluting the rivers. We need to stop cash cropping. I told the trees I was working on it. I told Zeke in spirit that I was working on, making the world a better place for dogs. The 3 kangaroo rats I turned loose I know, I tore up all those things so they wouldn't have shelter over there to be notes close to the houses, right? They get in and stuff. Yeah, it's because the way you build the houses wrong. The hantavirus that kills old people up in the Navajo country is because the people are dying from the chemical poisoning, from the uranium mines and other shit like that. And their immune systems are weak. Gene Hackman and his wife always went to the doctor to get the drugs to survive the poisoning with the drugs. And that's what killed them. That's why I turned the kangaroo rats loose. That's why I have spiders in my bathroom next to my toothbrush hanger, and I talk to them. The roaches, they eat the roaches. The roaches, they get typically, sometimes, a lot of times I'll step on them when I see them, but I also know, the spider, one of the wolf spiders came and told me, do I kill your food? Do I take your food? It's like, yeah, I get it, If you don't talk to the people and walk through the country, if you don't have respect for what provides the building blocks for your life, how can you expect the building blocks of your life to have respect for you? Right? Spider Woman taught us how to weave blankets to keep our children warm. The perception of human perfection is a flaw in itself, without flaw. What is flaw to you? Okay. And Hawking, everything has flaw. You can't have a perfect sphere, perfect this. There's always a flaw to it in nature. It's not a flaw, it's beauty. Okay. I walk in beauty. I walk in gratitude of the gift of the life of sacrifice for how I know to honor the eternal spirit through the life of sacrifices, through love. And everything that we do to make life better for one another is because we love one another. The story of Eagle Boy is like many of the others. They saw the future. Crazy Horse did, Little Hawk did. They talked to the people in the future. Why is this happening? What's happening? Little Hawk was excited. He told Casper Collins that he saw a picture of Jesus. He goes, "That's my spirit guide." And when I was young, Jesus had me put the towel over my head and look in the mirror in the bathroom in Cruces. When I was at Cruces High, and he goes, "Look at," I go, "What?" He goes, "You look just like me." It's like, shut up, Jesus. Because he kept preparing me and telling me, all the things I had to do. So, and I there's a reason why, and you do know, there's a reason why Redbone was one of my favorite groups, and my sister bought the record, married Jerry. Right? Hey, hey, hey. And there's a reason why Jerry's family acts the way they do, because they were murdered off. They come from warriors. That's why he showed me that video, "We Will Be Champions." And it was the Mexican guys with the black guy. Surviving all the whites that would kill them. But he's befriended, yes. He's befriended and been given a job, take care of his family, has a farm. And yeah, they come with the testimony of Christ on their lips, but not in their hearts. That's why I tell people, weak hearts to the back, strong hearts to the front, right? Like a dog soldier. It's not fighting to the last. It's like the Polish that took the bicycles and the rakes and the garden hose into the tracks of the Blitzkrieg to let the women and children get away from the shuttles. A lot of those men were Polish, and they were protecting the Jews because they grew up together. They were poor, and they took care of each other, and they fed each other. It's their religion. All these memories just washing at me. It's just washing away all the sin. Max, Emmy, your mom, if she knew I existed or she didn't know I existed, I think watching me be tortured from June 2019 till March 18th. Is this the day after St. Patrick's Day? There it is. 2026. Don't you think that's punishment enough for her being a member of the Temple Set Illuminati and not believing in Earl? Don't you think that's punishment enough, or do you guys just hate Jennifer Lopez? We can be friends. I really like Amy Winehouse, but I know the body's like a river, and the river. I'm not asking. I didn't put most of the toxins and poisons. The Moderna virus, they put it in. I told them you guys could give me a placebo, or something, or a vitamin shot. But you chose to keep torturing me because you thought I was wrong. Because I was trying to save people that were bad. I was trying to save perverts. But I could see greater than all of you. Because I'm the spirit of him. And me and the Father are one. And I'm the spirit of the one that was the one at Mount Zion named Adam. And I'm the spirit of the one that possibly the scientific community moved through wormholes to the future, because he was the focal point of faith and truth and courage and kindness, which makes sense because I am now. And so I'm going to do everything I can for you. What I got to get at the store, I got to get belts for the air conditioner, and I got to get a trough for my bath, a metal one. So my saline soaking is a little bit healthier than in the plastic because it's hot water. And I'll put the small, clean up the small, one of the small ones, and put the bigger one out here of the containers, and put the stuff in there, and move the bigger one out here. And yeah, it's interesting, the people that help me through. Just do that, do this, okay. But the stories, when they get turned into myth, it's because they're having trouble understanding. Like I told you the story about the line of Enoch with Buddy Pritchard, who went to school at Oñate High School, which is now Oregon Mountain, with all the kids from NASA, just like I went to school with all the kids from NASA from Mayfield. So 2 generations dealing with the astronauts, the space sky people, right? That keep us distracted with Marvin, Martian myth, and Bugs Bunny and the abominable snowman on the moon. So we keep getting distracted by their money, and they use money for us to be able to sustain a sex life, so it makes sense. Because sex life is very important to us. In Japan, period is very important to a man. And thanks, Amy, for, helping me keep my prostate alive and helping me understand that there was nothing wrong with what happened to Steffi and you and how it affected the kids. That, it was, well, she didn't understand it. I had to explain it to her. I was like, we all need sexuality to live and love. Okay. Right now we're surviving, so our sexuality is turned into a manipulation so they can keep our lives into commodities. So they're fucking up. The only thing we really need robots for in the future is to deal with things that are toxic, and not data centers and nuclear centers, but like maybe recycling lithium batteries for our batteries that we have, that we keep in a contained unit. When we have certain things like, you build a small adobe kind of underground that keeps a good submerged and stuff place for your batteries and stuff like that. When they're in the containers, and but any dealing with the lithium and the batteries and stuff and things, and recycling those, because money's not real, so you just do it because you need to share, care, give, of course, need built to last. So all you people that have been isolated, for your robots to do great things, well, yeah, you're gonna have to take your brain. Facts. Last night they had Brian Cox on YouTube. Facts. 26 facts. Yeah, the fact is life's eternal, grace is infinite. Share, care, given accordance, need, built to last. Okay? And how do we get there? Forgive, debt, and trespass, love one, eternal, faithful, teeth. So those are simple, applied physics facts of a perfect man with perfect love. Okay? And when you're doing that, things can only get better. And Feynman's physics perception of laws was based on fear and selfishness. And it's about we and not about me. Because there is no me without we. Okay. Every man we've ever had since the beginning of our time, as men and women, has always needed a woman to love and to live here. It's the nature of the gift of the temples. I don't care how it worked in the beginning. That's not important to me. What's important to me is how the gift is today, how it sustained us to this day, and how it will sustain us in the future. Okay, and purines are very important to a man for his physical health. Okay, a man can, women have menopause, so the woman can continue to love her man, and he can continue to love her the way he loved her, to give her his seed so she may share life through children. But everything has to be right. Everything has to be good. Everything has to be healthy. We know that. If things are out of balance and unhealthy, so they get osteoporosis, teeth fall out, all the things you guys put me through. All the angry people, you're the one from homophobia, you're the one from sexism and all that. So I am. Okay. Forgive debt and trespass, love one, turn off with peace, share, care, give it course deed. No, I've more than paid the price physically and mentally and emotionally for your sin, blaming me for your sin. I've had enough. Okay. Tell Versace needs money for fucking each other in the ass because we need money to live here and we don't want to have babies because we don't want to be tortured as children for, I love Freddie Mercury. Yeah, me too. And the young lady who talked about it, story. Yeah. But she's just going to have to stand up. Okay. And if Elton John can't realize that Bernie wrote better songs than him, then he's just got to realize that he didn't love women enough. Because he didn't like them, because he wanted the ones he couldn't have. And Bernie knew it. She's going to marry Joe DiMaggio or some other brooding macho guy. She ain't going to marry me. I'm too much like her. Well, don't be too much like her. I can't help it. I've been this way over tens of thousands of years. She wants me as a friend, but she doesn't want me as a lover. That's because you won't die protecting the women and children from the bluecoats. You're not the redheaded Kiowa. Wash day. Okay, it's a good day to die. Strong hearts to the front, weak hearts to the rear. If you're a two-spirit, if they attack the camp after they kill me, make sure you die like me instead of run. Okay? That goes for all you two-spirit men. Okay. Don't play professional football for money and fuck each other in the ass and then have yourself surgically altered so you go from a Wheatie box to what you call a woman. You're not a woman. You're a man. Now act like one. Stop letting your daughters down and your grandchildren down. What happened? Grandpa got afraid, so he turned himself into a woman. How did he do that? Magic. Evil magic. People that alter people's bodies because they tell them they're something they're not, because they're afraid of being what they are. Okay. If Donatella Versace doesn't like the prayer I just had with her family, then she can't handle the truth of St. Francis and St. Anthony. And if you can't handle the truth of St. Francis and St. Anthony, you're going to want to run me over in the parking lot of a Best Buy in 2013 and act like I never existed. Max and Emmy, tell your mom, maybe we'll, I intend on cleaning this river and living to be an old man. And, all we did was have sex, before now. And that's horrible because they took love and they tried to kill it. And every time I found a woman that was strong enough to try to love me, I couldn't marry them because the military would kill them because they would make me too happy. They always had to keep me, doing things their way. And they knew that Miriam and Edna and Michelle were too strong to give in to the do what they say so we can survive, so they won't kill us off. Well, we'll go with their money. They were too strong for the evil ones. They were like me. We were alike in spirit. Yeah. You're saying Jennifer Lopez is evil and all those other women are evil? I'm saying they've been Stockholm syndrome into the sex cult by the evilness of their men. Well, my family tried to get me to do it, Renounce the Jesus in your head and accept the cartoon character of the Vatican, and it'll save you from being tortured and killed by all the perverts that want to use money and technology to keep us worshiping money and technology and pray to the satellites for more money through technology. It's like, yeah, no. I'm going to correct all the satellites so they never ask for any more money for technology. I tear the trees. I'm going to make sure that we end cash cropping and that the water is restored and there's more that we're using, we're not using all our water to, in El Paso to do data centers to keep mind fucking people so we can incarcerate them and put them in detention camps and kill them and try to limit their ability to sexually reproduce by raping each other in prison. All the president's men and women are not good people. And unless they stand up and be a good person, I can't save you from your current sin. You have to save yourself from your current sin. I'm just the light and the way to living the truth of faithful love. Well, that's better than anything you've ever tried to worship. My worship is better than anything you tried to call worship in your entire life. This 25-minute video is more beautiful and strong and kind and understanding than anything you've ever said or done in your entire life. And Donald Trump knows it, and so does Barack Obama. So does Joe Biden, and so does Bill Clinton, and so does Hillary Clinton. So do all their grandkids and kids. So does, all the Carters left over from the Carters that read the instruction manual for, mythological mass murder of the Romans trying to take the Hebrews and turn them into better Romans than Romans. Watch they. Inju, what I say is true. Oh, on those video games, man, you're going to take well, the guys told me about it. We're going to take the old, ones from the last, the 14, and we're going to take all it's public domain. We're going to take all the Keith Jackson, and we're going to, it's our game. We're going to make it the way we want, like Corey with the dress. It's your dress up, girl, for the paintings of the barn. Make it the way you want. We're going to take the dialogue for games for everybody. Will have different local announcers and stuff. And we're going to take all the stories and stuff. We're going to take Fort Buns and Ho Nelly, and we're going to put him in to call games, Keith Jackson, all the people that they ever put on football games to call the things. We're going to put that, we have it. We're going to put all the dialogue in for games on that. It'll be fun. It'll be like a tiptoe through the tulips, with Keith Jackson calling games. And we're going to put in, Division 2, because we have the things, and it's easier to do the things for the old, we just put it in and then let IBM Watson make the program and make the code and everything. And we'll get people to get the drone footage and put in all the stadiums, like, Black Hill State and South Dakota Mines and Colorado Mines and all that. We'll put the little stadiums in, and we can have, like they did in Madden, we can upgrade the stadiums and put in extra seating. If we have to, like Altamirano, put the seating on the other side and move the scoreboard with the video screen to the other end if you guys want to do that. And so, but we can have all of them in there and all their uniforms and all their, stuff. And you can have an edit uniform feature. So you can adjust the uniforms if they adjust, or if you want to adjust them, it's your dress, make it the way you want, right? And so, it'll be fun. We'll be able to do that where it has a editing feature where we can have fun with it, but we'll put in all the Division 2 stadiums, and we'll have Ed call the games at Western. We can put in all the things, and we can put in each data program for each thing, for home games for each team. We can do it. We have the technology. We have IBM Watson. And so we can make it our own personal experience to sell our, to tell our tribal stories, to stop selling. We can do the same with basketball. And, we got to hurry up and get the dialogue to tell the stories the way Doc Elder does at the Greyhound games, at Greyhound Arena. And Steve Loy, money's not real. So stop using money. Stand up for the Lord's Prayer if you want to be remembered well. Not names on scoreboards holding food hostage for Taco Box and all that shit, and Taco Bell and Taco Smell, and what's that in Taco Hell, and what's that smell? And you like, you don't like chitlins? You don't like chitlins? Well, you'll like mine, and I'll show you how. Best macaroni and cheese in the world. Yeah. Yeah. Mom made really good macaroni and cheese, but Grandma Bowen's through Punchy's was probably better, and Mom would have said that too. Well, Mom was like that. She learned, Arlene, you need to knead your dough a little bit more. Arlene, you need to, So I listen to people like Julia Child. She gets lots of help. Right? And just because you sign a piece of paper doesn't make me gravity, if you all agree to it, right? Okay. And so, yeah, we're going to do stuff like that in the very near future, instead of all of the people being impulsed and manipulated by the military people that were mind fucking me. You'll never get this. Um, I'll be loved by the woman that loves me, that I know I need to love for the rest of my life. That'll happen sooner than later. In the meantime, I'm going to go get my trough to soak. I'll have to get a chase lounge to soak in the sun. We're going to use salt. We're going to use sun. And we're going to use salads. Suzuki told me yesterday, he goes, no, basically just plan your diets around that and get, certain things in smaller portions to prepare for dad, for him to eat what he wants to eat. And then you get lots of salads this spring or summer to eat what you know you need to eat to help clean your body out, to help the digestive system recover from getting out a lot of the chemical poisonings that your government and your military that was jealous of you put in your body, that you didn't do it. And you're the type of person that can clean out a river faster than other people because you don't drink alcohol, you don't do drugs, and you don't go try to destroy your body because you're unhappy with your body because you've trapped the soul and the wickedness of your mind. You're the eternal spirit of the righteous one, the beautiful one, the kind one, the brave one. Yeah, I've known this my whole life. Okay, so let's do this. I'll do the best I can. I'll carry you until you can stand up and carry your own weight. Oh, you know me. Leave the evil one to me. I'll take care of it. Okay, guys. We'll talk later. I got to go prep the air conditioner.